welcome Tracy and everyone else who's listening to us. I'm so very excited to share this incredible story, inspirational story of a young entrepreneur that I happen to know very well, Tomek. We've been friends for a long time, right? And we did some work together. We worked together in corporate, and now I get to watch you blossom on your journey as a small business owner, and it's been absolutely wonderful. So I'm really excited to have you here. And again, thank you, Tracy, for joining us. Feel free to ask any questions you may have, and certainly anyone else that's watching us on inside the group, or even later on, you can post your questions in the comments, and we'll be more than happy to. We'll make sure that we get those answered. But Tomek, you wear many hats, right? Why don't you introduce yourself? Let us know who you are, where you come from, your whole story, and what it is that's been happening and going on lately with you.
First and foremost, hello, and thank you so much, Lenka, for having me on this little podcast. And I'm very honored to share that story with whoever is thinking about starting his own business or has already started, because we all have our own journeys. And this is definitely a challenge in life which you put yourself through, and I'm extremely grateful that I'm able to share it with the rest of the people who will be watching. And thank you so much for years of your friendship and business cooperation as well, because you are the one right from the start who inspired me to start actually my own business and my side gig. And thanks to that, I have an amazing plans right now for the future, and my company is slowly with certain organic steps going forward and evolving. And I cannot be more grateful for this. So my name is Tomek Gurzynski. For those of you who don't know me, I am a career flight attendant for the past 30 years, with my recent airline almost 20 years now. And this is a lifestyle, which definitely is so different than anything else. But that lifestyle allows you to progress with life with some great ideas, and gives you time as well to evolve, not only as a person, but also professionally in different areas. And I started my own business back in 2020. That was the time when we still had a pandemic. But the idea about the business, the whole entire subject, which I got myself involved with, which is herbalism, started about 10 years ago when I had some challenges with my health. Obviously, flying,
had some challenges with my. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I hear the background
Yeah,
voice.
I fixed that. My bad. Yep.
But flying is very challenging for your health. And I started to have some issues. I was falling sick many times, not only during the low season like autumn and winter, but also during the summer season. It got me to the point that I just decided that I need to do something about my health and naturally try to improve my immunity. And that's when my journey with herbs started, because I realized that medications which are existing on the market, obviously medicine is wonderful because it helps us with a lot of aspects of our life, but medicine is a business, and we should also preventively take care of our health. And that was my idea. So that's what got me involved with herbs, and I started to take extracts myself and purchase them from the stores. Sooner or later, I realized that I can actually I was very interested in it. That became my hobby, and I was researching a lot, and it got me to the point that I decided to do my diploma as an herbalist. And I did this online with one of the schools in UK. And once I did this mainly for myself, I expanded my collection of my own produced herbs at my own kitchen. And I started to take those herbs on a regular basis, and that improved tremendously over a few months, basically my health and my immunity, to the point that I was very healthy, despite of my schedules, my flying. And some of my friends have noticed that, and I did share my collection of herbs also and my extracts with those friends and with people who I was flying with. And that led me to 2020, when I spoke with you after already having our friendship, and we worked together in a corporate before, and you were starting your own business, and you were the inspiration because you told me, it says, Tomek, you have such an amazing thing going on. Why don't you do it professionally? Why don't you start something and let it be your own, your own adventure, your own business? And because I trusted you already, and the trust was developed, over the years of our friendship and professional work, I truly believe that I can do that. You made me believe in that. I had previous experience in my early, let's say, late 20s with my own business, which were not that successful. That was back when I was in my country, in Poland, and I kind of had a bad taste after that. I didn't believe in myself that much. And I guess I needed a little inspiration, and you were that inspiration for me at that time.
you.
And I'm very grateful for that, because not only you were there as someone who is professionally prepared to help another person start a business, but you were that voice constantly telling me, Tomek, you have to push, you have to push, you have to push, and I did, and I did with your help. Definitely, right in the beginning, there was tremendously hard, but I developed this company basically from every single aspect by myself. I didn't outsource anything. I decided that if I do it, I have to set it up the way that if anything happens in my life, I can still have that company. I don't have to close it down, and my costs are very low. And that's exactly what I did. And I pour my passion, my knowledge already about herbalism, um, into action. And I produced my first line of initially 7 different herbs. I opened my online store, and that store is still existing till today. My company's name is Tierra Botanica. And I have 17 right now herbs in my collection, which I'm successfully selling online. So this is the journey.
I absolutely love it. And thank you. Thank you for sharing our experience together and what we went through. And, I think you hit on several important elements of startups. Number one is being comfortable knowing what you don't know and asking for help, right? So recognizing that starting a business, there's so many layers, so many, and it is virtually impossible to know everything right away from the get-go. And
Mhm.
you recognize that. And you were ready to reach out for help. Then the trust factor, surrounding yourself by community people, like-minded individuals that you can be vulnerable with, that you can share perhaps some of the most personal secrets with, fears, right? Fear of the unknown and fear of failure and fear of success. Those are all legit fears that every single one of us have. I still have it. And if we tapped into Tracy, I'm sure she could share herself and her own, fears and what she's going through. But it's a legit thing that entrepreneurship is full of unknown. And when you have the right community behind you that can rally behind you, support you, guide you, offer that hand, it's not easy, but it's easier, right? Starting a business is not simple, but it can
Mhm.
be much easier if you have the right people by you. And so that's wonderful. And the third one is really understanding, having that clarity. Clarity is so crucial when you're starting a business, having that clarity of what it is that you want and having that aligned with your personal values and mission and vision and where you see yourself in the future. Because if there's a disconnect, you eventually start budding. You, personal Tomek, and the Tomek, the business owner, you will start going like this. Because where you want to go as a Tomek, the leisure, fun, having a good time versus the professional Tomek, those are two different personalities. And we can turn them on and off constantly, right? But if you're aligned, you don't even think about things twice and the decisions you're making, the compromises, or being completely unapologetic about, sorry, can come to your birthday party. Or, you know what, I really have to work this weekend. I simply cannot do I can't go on that boat trip with you,
Mhm.
or whatever that may be, because you're comfortable knowing that if I stay at home and hustle, I know that Monday morning I'm going to feel a million times better and I will have accomplished everything that's on my list. So
Mhm.
you had all that, you had the clarity. So thank you for sharing that. Now, what I would love to hear from you is I remember Tomek before COVID, during COVID, and post COVID. Do you mind sharing that era when things really became difficult or weird and crazy, and how having those two careers as a flight attendant, which is a phenomenal, beautiful, beautiful career, and also your side gig, which now you've turned into small business, how that helped you to perhaps juggle some of those difficulties or difficult times as COVID?
Uh, COVID was, I think, different experience for all of us individually. To be honest with you, because of the way I set up my private life before, it was a challenge. It was something extremely scary for everyone. But I managed to actually go through COVID pretty easy. And that was to the fact that I gained a lot of knowledge about what vaccines are, how we're supposed to manage everything in health and our immunity. Remember that I started to take care of my immune system about 10 years ago, so I researched a lot. And contrary to some of the beliefs which we had at that time that we should lock ourselves up and not go out, uh, I actually took a step a little bit farther, and after the research, I decided I'm not going to sit at home. And I was venturing myself into different parts of Florida at that time. I was briefly an aircraft owner, and my husband at that time, he was pursuing the career in aviation, and he was becoming a pilot. So I spent a lot of time in the air, but that allowed me to also spend a lot of time with myself. And I think I had a little shift in me because after the COVID already started to go away, when we were talking, and I remember that first few conversations, it became very clear to me that I cannot just sit comfortably in one place. I'm not that type of a creature who just sits, get comfortable with what I have. And believe me, I could have stayed with the airline industry for the rest of my days just doing this. Did I really need money? Did I really need a challenge? Probably not physically, but personally and mentally, yes. So after this time of basically not socializing with my friends and with other people outside and spending a lot of time with myself, I decided that if I don't challenge myself, my life will become flat. So I didn't have idea where it would take me. And that's when you showed up. And that's when you encouraged me and says, Tomek, you're doing something which you could have done for yourself later. And it just clicked in my mind. It's like, oh my God, that's true. Now, the only fear which I needed to overcome, it was my own fear because I already failed once in my business before. But then you helped me realize as well that that was back in my 20s. I was not as mature as I am right now. It was completely different era and time in my life. And back then I was maybe not ready, but right now I am. And it took me from that moment, probably about 2 or 3 weeks, thinking very hardly about it. How should I do it? Can I do it? Should I put myself through all this? And I finally started to believe that, yes, I can. This is something which I can do actually myself without any partners, without any employees in the beginning. And just simply it would take me to a completely different level in life. And it did. And it did because everything in my life what is right now is not only about my main job but also about my side gig. I'm traveling not only as a flight attendant laying over in Amsterdam. I can give you an example. Yesterday morning I was in Amsterdam. I ended up in the afternoon in Boston. Today I'm actually in Orlando because I have to take care of the business as well, and I'm here with my contractor who I hired about a year ago. I'm about to sign another contract today with a marketing person who's going to help me figure out some things in regards to the search engine and where my company sits as far as that, because that's a huge source of where I get my first time clients. and the social media. So that's the next step I'm actually making today by the end of the day. And tomorrow I'm going to be in Boston, flying to London. So as you can see, it's you have to really, like, my life is extremely busy right now, but it's happy busy because I feel like I am doing something. I am going forward. I am moving. I'm challenging myself. And at times, instead of sitting at home comfortably, we should do it because our mind is different, our health becomes different, and our plans sometimes change due to this, and approach to difficult things in life, even on personal side. You're less afraid to challenge yourself or less afraid to take sometimes risky steps in life when you undertake yourself in a side gig and try to do something different in your life.
Yeah, yeah. Um, I really liked how you talked about your current lifestyle and how this side gig, which is now turning into a real small business, right? You're no longer a solopreneur, you're an entrepreneur, you actually have a team of people. So you are
Mhm.
growing. But in order, you were able to combine your passion and your skill and again your lifestyle and found something that complements it. So nothing that you have implemented and you're growing currently is impeding the what you are so accustomed of doing, of being all over the place, just doing your own thing, traveling, because you grab your laptop and you go. Your office is your laptop. It doesn't
Mhm.
matter if you're sitting somewhere in Florida, Boston, London, or Amsterdam, you're still able to run your business. And that is so wonderful when it comes to wanting to start a business. When you find something that you can start slowly, small, from the comfort of your computer and learn the ins and outs of what it's like to maybe have that small little side gig and learn everything you need to learn to take it to the next level. It's great. I actually prefer to work with clients that have had perhaps a negative experience initially because that helps me really use that and turn it into learning opportunities. So let's talk about what didn't work the first time around. What are some of the lessons you learned, and what can you do differently? So turn that fear of failure into, been there, done that. I know that if this happens, those are the consequences. So I will have a plan A. I know if
Mhm.
that happens, the consequences are such, I will have a plan B, plan C, plan D. So your mind is triggered. The fear of unknown is not having a plan. The moment you implement a plan into your business for any possible scenarios that may happen as you're building a business, you will still feel a little uneasy feeling, maybe per slight anxiety, but the fear of unknown will be gone because you will have a plan in place. When we have a plan in place, it's almost like you have a chair that you can sit on, right? Chair that has 3 legs, 4 legs, and you're sitting comfortably and you know you're not going to fall flat on your butt because you have a plan in place. And
That is
so
correct.
that's
Absolutely.
what, right? And I guarantee you that is what you were able in your process to use your prior experience and
Mhm.
implement it into the current and all the things that as you went back, you remembered all those things that you perhaps did incorrectly or might have done differently better. Because I like to stress there are really no mistakes in business. It's learning opportunities.
Mhm.
So in that mindset, yes, it was a misstep. Yes, you could have done it differently, but so what? Learn
Mhm.
from it. What an incredible learning opportunity. Take it, fix, adapt, and keep moving forward.
That is correct. I absolutely agree with you. And to be honest, from that very first experience, it always set in my life a little bit more on the failure side, and I didn't want to feel that way. It was a negative experience, which later on, of course, I could explain myself that it was a learning experience. But really and truly, you know that you have learned something if you try it again, and you know that you implement completely different plan. Well, I haven't had any opportunities to start my own business after that, up until I opened my own company, thanks to you and the idea which I had. So um, Personally, from my perspective, I hate pointing out the time of my life when I failed in something. I'd rather say I did something wrong, but the next time I did better. And that next time became also an inspiration for me when I was starting this business, because I said, now I'm going to prove to myself that I can do it,
Yeah.
that I'm grown enough, mature enough to start something with plan A, plan B, plan C, and plan D. The first time around, and this is answer for your question, I did not have that plan. Uh, Moreover, I have started with wonderful idea, but I was shooting way over my abilities, and I ended up unfortunately, asking for initially for help from the banks, which the banks were willing to give me. But then when the business shut down, I owned a lot of money and I had to pay this money back, and it took me years and years to recover from that. So this time around, I said I cannot set myself with my new business the way I did it the first time around back in 1998. I have to do it on my own, and I have to do it within my means. So if anything happens in my private life or in my career life, this business is going to withhold the weight of that occurrence, and I'll be able to go forward. I'll be able to still continue that, and evolve. Maybe hold it for just a little bit on the same level, but organically grow. Growing your business organically without spending a lot of money or going above your financial means is one of the key factors in all of that. If you have an idea, that idea should be really well thought and implemented in life within your means. So if I had $100,000 sitting on my bank account, I know that, if I invested $100,000, I need to be sure that if I lose it, I'm not going to cry because of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
If I don't have much, if I have $2,000, I'm going to set up my startup business around that $2,000. And you can, any type of business you can set up that way, but it needs to grow organically. You cannot overshoot your abilities just in a case something happens. So you need to have a plan B, plan C, and plan D. And like you just said, um, I had a hard time about a year ago because of events in my private life, which I had to overcome, and I had to put my company on hold. But I was able to do that simply because the cost of running it, I set it up the way that it was running on its own. Maybe it was not growing at that time, but I put myself as a priority. I had to recover from that event myself personally, and I didn't have to give up my business. Although I was very, very, very close to that point, but again, I set it up that way that it could survive. So I made certain decisions at that point to put it on hold, and I did the right thing because right now everything is great, and I'm actually growing. So definitely 100% agree with what you just said. It's extremely important to set this plan up where you have other options just in case something happens, and set it up within your financial means that you can start something, start an idea. Don't worry that it's going slowly. Life goes on, and we're not, well, at least we're not suspecting to go tomorrow, right? So if you work on something, just do the short-term plan and do the long-term plan. That's extremely important. And if you put your work into this, if you're committed, because commitment is extremely important, and you set yourself basically for success at that point.
So beautifully said, commitment, right? Committing to yourself and your future. And once you know that this is exactly where you want to be and what you want to do. So how do you keep yourself accountable to yourself?
I think the moment when I started to cooperate with other people, I don't have employees because I'm not ready for that yet. But I do have contractors. So I have one person who is already on a contract with me since last year, and another person actually starting today, April 1st. And they obviously they have an income from my company based on what they're gonna do and their job responsibilities as a contractor. So I think that keeps me going as well and pushing myself to do better and better and better and set up the plan, which I did in the past, let's say 2 months, what I need to do by the end of this year in order for me to grow. And because of that, they're going to grow with my company as well, right? So this is extremely important. Commitment to other people who also depend on in a certain ways on the income of your company, on your business. And the second thing is motivation to my own self, because life goes on and I do still feel young. I'm 53 years old, but I don't feel 53 at all. But I know that life has a certain uh, amount of time only we are on this world, right? So we just want to set ourselves for success to the point that if we are unable to work our day job, which for me is being flight attendant, if I, let's say, at some point decide to retire, that I have something going on in my life which will supplement me with some more additional income. And being 53, I know that you have to be realistic. So I set up a plan for the next basically 7 to 10 years, what I want to achieve with my company, and a certain timeline, and that motivates me too, because I really want to do it. I really want within the next 4 or 5 years be able to sell my product not only directly to my customers online, but also in a wholesale environment that will help me supplement my life with additional income and possibly even lower my flying, so I don't have to fly to earn money. I can fly because I love it, and do 2 flights per month or 1 flight per month, and the rest of the time I can spend at my studio and work on my company. So there are two motivations: people who I'm working with, and my own personal goals. And once that is in place, I don't think there's I don't see myself doing anything else right now. I'm keeping myself so busy with those two things going on, with flying and with my company, that it keeps me happy. It keeps me motivated all the time.
Yeah, yeah. And that's, I think, uh, some of it has to do with obviously your personality traits and how incredibly responsible you are. You always have been from the moment I met you in corporate, and even seeing you in your current role as an entrepreneur. But majority of it is that clarity that we talked about, knowing exactly your end goal and where you're heading, and you are completely aligned with it personally and your business goals, right? There's
Hmm.
no confusion, clarity. You have that tunnel vision. This is what I want. This is where I
Hmm.
want to be. And once you have that, it's that much easier. So the accountability piece, um, I think there's also a component of having friends and family and business partners and people like me when we talk. Like, I know that my accountability also comes. There's that 10% when I go and tell my friends what I've been doing and how I've been achieving my goals. I want to be able to share my success. I want to be able to feel comfortable saying, wow, we moved it to the next level, next level. And I just formed a new partnership with Tracy, for example. And there's like always something going on. And so it makes me feel, it's that personal satisfaction that I feel as well, that I can go and celebrate myself, celebrate my success. So that takes me to you. How do you celebrate your success, Tomek? Because when we work in a company, we may
Yeah.
have someone come into you and say, good job, right? But being an entrepreneur, a solopreneur, it's a very lonely job. You
Hmm.
don't have people constantly telling, it's like, wow, man, this is amazing. This is great, right? You don't
Hmm.
have those meetings where your work would be recognized and you would be getting trips, this and that. And this is just you. So how do you find time for Tomek celebrating your success? What do you do for yourself?
Um, the passion which I had from the very beginning about herbalism, it came from the point of knowing that I have only one health, and that I can't afford to lose it. There's no money which you can buy health with. It's priceless. And when I became a healthy person, when thanks to herbs, I was able to have higher energy. I started going to the gym. I started transform my body to the level that right now my maybe normal age is 53, but really and truly my body age is much lower than that. I'm perfectly healthy. I have no issues whatsoever, and I'm able to um, physically withstand a lot of things which people who are much younger than me are not capable of anymore. So that leads me with my personal goals to show others how to do it and become maybe an inspiration. Uh, Not only with the way I lead my life, the healthy lifestyle I have, but also with the products which I'm using. So when I share my products with my clients, my instant gratification is their ability to notice how it changes their life. And I have a few clients. You're in between because I
Yeah,
remember when we started,
absolutely.
you were also dealing with some stuff, and you were using one of my products, and your health improved.
More than
In
one, several,
Yeah,
several.
several. That's true.
Yeah.
But at that point, that was the first time when you have noticed that it works sometimes. A natural way is much better than just using medications. And I have few other clients right now who are constantly purchasing from me. Some of them I know personally. Some of them I just communicate on a regular basis when they purchase stuff. But it's amazing to see how people appreciate the product and how it helps them. If I see that they are improving physically and health wise, for me, that's the biggest satisfaction. It's the same way when you do the best job as you possibly can as an in-flight crew member, as a flight attendant, when you're flying, and customers are leaving saying, you know what, that was one of the best flights of my life, and you see that instant gratification. With my business, I feel it the way when people are coming back and saying, you know what, that helped me a lot. This particular extract, the black turmeric, which I've been buying for you, it gives me it took my arthritis pain away, within 2 or 3 months of taking it, and they keep buying not only for themselves but for their families. So this is if you're passionate about something and your business comes from that life passion which you have, which you were able to test on your own life, and you see that it helps others, this is an amazing thing, and that's what I really want to continue. And you know it takes me also to many different areas which are not really, I mean, they're not directly connected to my products, because I research a lot of new developments in medical field which are extremely interesting, about the supplements, about recent developments in the past 20 years about nitric oxide, which is so incredibly important in our health, and basically it improves everything, including aging. It stops aging at a certain point. So this is something which I'm on right now. I've learned a lot of things about microbiome, which is basically 90% of our health is microbiome. And I have a piece on one of my YouTube on my YouTube channel. I have a video which I produced also myself, talking about microbiome, how important it is to keep it, to keep a healthy microbiome in your life, and how herbs are helping doing this as well. So my product, in this case, is directly involved in that piece of the knowledge. So it helps me, it motivates me to become even better, and it's a constant learning process, not only in that field, but in the field of my passion, in the field of health, my personal health, and giving that and sharing with others.
We lost you for a moment. Okay, you're back, you're back.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
oh my
Yes.
God, so incredible to hear from you, really. And again, I can attest for watching you from the very beginning and to now, and I'm so proud of you and so excited for you. But I would love to open it up. Tracy, do you have any questions, or anyone online? I'm monitoring our Facebook. We have a couple of people watching. We have Caroline, Jessica, we have Pam, we also have Manuela. If you guys have any questions that you would like to ask Tomek, let me know. You can type it in the comments right now, and I'll be more than happy to share that with Tomek right now. And if not, you can connect with him directly. Again, I will share Tomek's information in the comments, so you can connect with him for any supplemental herbal advice work. But tierrabotanica.com is his website, where you can actually search some herbs per symptoms, right? You have it set up. That's how
That is correct.
it's the easiest way to search, actually. And I was using the one for microbiome. I am not specifically what you might be researching right now, but something for digestive system. That's kind of like,
Mhm.
like constant. But anyone right now, does anyone here that's watching live or on Facebook, do you guys have any questions, anything at all that you'd like to ask right away? We good? Tomek, any last closing statement, anything at all that you want to share with all the entrepreneurs out there that are still just debating, should I not, should I not? You know, what if, you know, the book of what ifs is that long?
Uh, all I want to say, if you are waking up for past some time when a certain idea, what you want to do, and this is your, let's say, kind of inner goal in life, that you want to start something and possibly on your own, don't be afraid to do it, but also do it with the help of professional like yourself, Lenka. It is very, very important that you have someone who's standing by you when you're starting your business, who is knowledgeable enough, encourages you to do different things, and shares the knowledge, like you did with me, because that sets you up literally for success. Don't be afraid to challenge yourself. If you're just living comfortable life without any possibility of challenging yourself in the future, I don't think that you will be a very happy person in a few years. Maybe it will work for first year or two, but it will bother you that that idea which you had inside of you, you you did not take a chance to start. You did not take a chance to try something new. Challenge yourself. We all are capable of doing unimaginable things as human beings. It's just a matter of whether we have enough strength to do that, whether we challenge ourselves, whether we go into unknown and step out of this comfort zone, because it's definitely stepping out of the comfort zone. But if I could do it, anybody can.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Tomek. I hear it all the time. If I can do it, you can. And I so believe in that. You can do
Definitely.
anything you want to do with
Hmm.
the right resources, right support, putting the right plan in place, you can achieve anything. So I'm so very grateful that you agreed to speak with us today and share your story. Very
Thank you.
inspirational. I wish you best of luck. I know you have a busy schedule going back to Boston and perhaps London, Amsterdam.
Yeah.
What's next?
London tomorrow. Yes, that is correct.
Yes,
But today I
and
still
while
have a lot of
building your
things.
company. So that's absolutely amazing. But hopefully you'll come back and let us know how everything's progressing. Would love to have you back for sure, Tomek. But again, thank you
That-
so very much. I will post the video for everyone very shortly, and feel free to connect with Tomek. I'll post his links, and you, Tomek, you can add it into the comments as well, how people
Of course.
can connect with you, so they can get some additional
Mhm.
help and or advice for sure. Start networking, right?
Thank
Yeah.
you so much, Lenka. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to speak about it and for all your support for the past years. I am extremely happy that your business is growing as well.
Yeah.
So it's a mutual admiration. But thank you so much again.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you, Tracy, for being here with us live, and everyone else watching on Facebook. Thank you guys very much. We have a fantastic Monday afternoon, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you, sir. Bye bye.